The word housekeeping is often associated with household vacuuming, dusting, mopping floors, reducing clutter, or maybe someone cleaning a hotel room. In industrial workplaces, housekeeping means much more and is a critical component of any safety program. Good housekeeping not only helps prevent accidents and injuries, it can also improve productivity, boost morale, and impress clients and visitors. It's also an OSHA requirement. There are many types of industrial workplaces, and some present housekeeping challenges, such as hazardous materials, dust, or flammables. But if everyone commits to the following principles, housekeeping-related accidents and injuries can be reduced dramatically. Slips, trips, and falls are a leading cause of occupational injuries and even deaths worldwide in many industries. OSHA's Walking Working Surfaces Standard states that all workplaces should be kept clean and orderly and in a sanitary condition. This applies to all aisles, storerooms, and service rooms. Floors should be kept clean and dry, or drainage systems put in place in areas with wet processes. Mats, platforms, and other dry standing places should be used where practical. To help prevent slips, trips, and falls, report or clean up spills and leaks. Keep aisles and exits clear. Use any provided drip pans or guards. Pay attention to walking surfaces. Wear proper footwear for the job. Slow down when walking. Fire prevention and life safety are vital parts of any industrial housekeeping program. Here are some basic rules that must always be followed. Keep unnecessary combustible materials or debris from accumulating in work areas. Combustible waste should be stored in covered receptacles and disposed of daily. Keep combustible materials in the work area only in amounts needed for the job. When not in use, move them to an approved storage area or cabinet. Store flammable materials in designated locations away from ignition sources. Keep passageways and fire doors free of obstructions. Keep all materials at least 18 inches away from automatic sprinklers, fire extinguishers, and sprinkler controls. Dust on the floor or other walking surfaces can be a key factor in slip, trip, and fall accidents, so dust should be cleaned up as needed throughout the workday. Excessive dust can also affect machinery or equipment's length of life and the quality of finished products. Dust can actually be deadly. Dust explosions can occur where any dispersed powdered combustible material, including sawdust, is present in high enough concentrations in the atmosphere and is met with one of many ignition sources. Dust accumulation of more than 1/32 of an inch, about as thick as a dime or a paperclip, covering at least 5% of a room's surface, also poses a significant explosion hazard. Vacuuming or equipment vacuum systems are the preferred methods of cleaning up or reducing dust on the job, but sweeping and water washdown are other options. Protection, such as toe boards on railing systems, can help prevent tools or materials from falling from elevated areas and hitting workers, equipment, or product. Other tips include stacking boxes and materials evenly to protect them from falling. Place heavy objects on lower shelves, and keep all tools and equipment away from the edges of desks and tables so they don't get bumped off. Also, do not stack objects in areas where workers walk, including aisles. To ensure safe walking space, all floors must be kept clean and free from holes, nails, splinters, and loose boards on the ground. This rule includes passageway floors, including aisles. Aisles should be free of raw materials, finished product, or other obstructions, and should have safe clearances so that people can easily get through them for everyday use and in case of emergency evacuations. If an aisle is an emergency exit route, you cannot have any obstruction blocking it. Industrial aisles have specific aisle requirements. In terms of width, industrial aisles should be at least 4 feet wide and at least 3 feet wider than the largest equipment that has to pass through them. Permanent aisles or passageways in industrial operations have markings in the form of lines that define the aisle space. These lines are usually yellow, but can be any clearly visible color and are generally between 2 and 6 inches wide. Employers do not have to use continuous lines. They can also use dotted lines or broken lines as long as they are easily visible. A cluttered workspace can lead to employee ergonomics problems and possible injuries because workers have less space to move. When an area is cluttered, you're more likely to bump into machinery or equipment, or twist your body rather than moving your whole body to complete a task. Twisting your body can cause painful back or other muscular injuries. Make it a point to return tools and other materials to storage after using them and dispose of materials that are no longer needed. Empty trash receptacles before they overflow. Again, keep aisles, stairways, and emergency exits clear of clutter. It's the law. Good material storage practices extend to all areas of your facility, not just the manufacturing floor or main warehouse storage areas. All storage areas should not have an accumulation of materials that present hazards for tripping, fire, explosion, or pests. A common mistake is storing ladders or other items inside electrical closets, where they can block an electrical panel, creating a fire hazard and violating OSHA regulations. You would not want to store flammable chemicals in a boiler or heater room. As part of your regular housekeeping routine, check these types of areas for potentially unsafe items and conditions. Unused materials and equipment should be stored out of the way of workers, but preferably close enough for easy access if needed throughout the workday. Items stored too far away can lead to keeping too much in the work area, which equals clutter. You should use basic PPE, such as closed-toed shoes, gloves, or safety glasses, while performing typical housekeeping duties, such as cleaning up spills or other material, like broken glass, dust, or trash. Your safety department or supervisor will determine what type of additional PPE to use based on any potential risks. Of course, all PPE should be inspected, maintained, or replaced when necessary. The most important thing to remember about PPE is to use it. All employees should participate in housekeeping efforts, especially in terms of keeping their own work areas tidy, reporting safety hazards, and cleaning up spills if possible. If you can't clean up a spill or correct a hazard, report it to someone who is authorized to do so. Don't wait. Report it immediately. Think long-term. Housekeeping isn't a one-time or once-in-a-while effort. In industrial work environments, it's a daily necessity or even required multiple times a day. Housekeeping issues in industrial workplaces are very common, but they are often easy to correct, but it takes persistence and dedication. Housekeeping can help prevent accidents and injuries and improve productivity. Every worker should play a role in housekeeping, even if that just means keeping his or her own workspace clean. Housekeeping should be an ongoing process, not a one-time practice. Thank you for your attention and work safely.